Well, hello. This is an unusual post for me, so I hope you'll bear with me. My friend Alice Armstrong of Armstrong Scales Coaching is a person who takes people like me and helps us keep us focused and make us re-examine our objectives. She's brilliant. And one of the things that she taught me when I spent a day with her recently was that it's very important to get up in the morning and declare your intention for the day. And I've been finding that very, very useful. You may see sometimes if you follow my Instagram or even on here, I'm up the field with my dog in the morning. And my dog is doing the things that dogs do in the morning. And I stand by the gate to my perennials and shrubs patch. And I look at the sun rising and I sort of declare my intention for the day. And it's been really successful. And it's been so successful that I'm here and I'm going to declare an intention publicly. I have been whinging for years that I don't have enough time to write. And at first, I wrote books for my flower farming business, which did very nicely, thank you. And before that, in my youth, I was a novelist. I never made very much money writing novels, but still, it is being able to sit down and lose yourself in your imagination and tell stories is, I think, the most fun you can have legally. Possibly illegally. And for years, I've had very small children, then I had started a business, then I had to sort of solidify the business and make sure the business felt comfortable. 6 people living in a falling down farmhouse, it's not a cheap run. So we still need to make a good living. However, it seems to me that I have been whinging on about not having time to write for long enough. And so I declare that I am going to make time to write. And I declare that my intention is to write at least 5 days a week, in the same way that an artist makes a sketch every day. I will write a little bit every day. And sometimes I'll have more time and I'll write more, and sometimes I won't have very much time, but I will write a little bit every day, at least 5 days a week. What am I going to write? Well, I am going to write novels about small lives. And the reason I'm going to write novels about small lives is that we live in a world where it is very easy to feel overwhelmed by the big questions. And for me, a great way to look at big questions is by examining small lives. So my novels are going to be mostly based in the countryside in England. And the reason I'm going to base them in the countryside is partly because I live in the countryside, so I have an immediate relationship, and I can imagine questions. I can pose questions within the arrangement of a countryside setting and examine them within the arrangement of a countryside setting in a way that I think will work for me and hopefully for you. Anyway, so forgive me, but I'm afraid I'm going to use you, my social media interlocuteur, as my guinea pigs, because I know that my character is one where if I declare something publicly, I'm much more likely to do it than if I don't. So this new list on my YouTube channel is called Work in Progress because I'm going to be posting, I hope, once a week, a clip about the work I've been doing on the book I'm writing. And I hope that anybody else who's writing will join in and may find it useful, or may find it as a jumping off place for a discussion, or, you know, we can all talk about writing, which I think is very nice. We could have it as a sort of book club, a work in progress club. I'm not going to make a formal club of it, but you know, we could have some fun with it. And also, I've been telling my social media students for years, you know, the wonderful thing about people who engage with you on social media is you've got a free focus group. So I hope also that you will help me with your opinions and your thoughts about what I'm writing as I go. And I therefore finish off with the declared intention that by the 1st of April 2024, I will have at least a working manuscript for a whole novel. And I will be grateful for your help. Do you want to know a little bit about it? Okay, well, I started it. This is a book that's been bumbling away in my head for a very long time. And like a really, really long time. Since I last wrote another book. My most recent novel is called All Desires Known. It's not here. I'm so excited about this that I'm just doing it. So my most recent novel is All Desires. I'm going to go and get it. Okay, stay there. So here is my most recent novel, which I published some years ago now, and it's called All Desires Known, and it's about a vicar and his wife, and they move to the country and have all sorts of experiences. The best character in this is an old lady called Dilys, the vicar's mother. Anyway, I won't tell you any more. It is available to order from the big the big bookseller on the internet, should you like it. And the novel I'm going to start, or the one I have actually started, is provisionally entitled Housey Housey. Obviously, it's not going to be called Housey Housey, but it's about property and why places are important and what they're for and why people feel grounded in a place or not, and how worth protecting that feeling is. Is it possible to identify what it is and protect it? And there are about 5 main characters, all women. There are lots of characters, but 5 main characters, all women, and they range in age from mid-80s to mid-20s, late 20s. And although there is a little girl, a very small little girl, toddler, called Isla. And because this idea has been bubbling away in the back of my head for so long, it is really interesting how you sit down and say, okay, let it out. And the characters kind of almost, they're not quite, but they almost appear fully formed on the page because you've been thinking about them for so long and been thinking about who they are. And then immediately you get back into that situation where you're talking to a friend, or everything that happens to you through the day, you think, oh yeah, that's right. That's how it works. That's how it works. That's how things happen. This is how we can make the story move along. It's really interesting. I've forgotten how this happens, and it is it's a really delicious focus. So yes, the flower farm continues, and of course it continues, and the workshops continue, and I've got 3 weddings at the end of April, and you know, and all of that is going to carry on. But I was getting to the stage where I was spending so much time listening to podcasts, which I do really enjoy, that my head was so full of other people's voices. And I thought, I'm not wasting my time, but enough. It's time to let this story out of my head. And so I hope you'll forbear with me and join with me in the process, and I hope that together we produce something readable, engaging, interesting, good old-fashioned storytelling chicken soup. You remember Angela Carter talking about storytelling, and she said, we're all telling the same stories again and again and again. It's like making chicken soup. No two people make chicken soup the same way, though. Some people say, first take a ham hock. So I'm taking my ham hock, and I plan to make some chicken soup. And I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. I don't want to reinvent the wheel. What I want to do is look at life in small and detailed ways. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, press the bell icon, and we'll tell you when we've got more clips coming up. If any of the tips and tricks I give you along the way as regards writing or any kind of the gardening stuff, small business stuff, then please do buy me a coffee. The link to coffee buying is in the blurb to all my clips. And equally, I have a club here on the YouTube, which is great fun. We have 250 members and growing club members, where we talk about running small businesses, growing flowers for sale, and all my clips go up with a little bit of extra for the clubbers. So maybe I'll see you there.